Throughout the novel, both characters bear witness to Steve's neglect and abuse, whether it be staring at the lump above Miles' eye or seeing Steve abandon Miles on the boat. Both characters try to help give them a lift or let them stay over. Mr. Roberts even tells Miles not to get stuck because it's not right, and in the end both characters attend Harry's funeral. By contrasting these characters to those which blatantly ignore the abuse, Parrott comments that while some degree of effort to lessen injustice is commendable, as opposed to complete ignorance, it all ends in the same result. While both authors use varying techniques to express the same message, they do so to a different degree, in that one results in violent capture and the other instead results in feelings of guilt or inadequacy. Ozundere and Parrott similarly infer through their work that if people stand up to injustice, then it's more likely to be resolved. While Parrott uses more direct commentary through her use of Jake as a medium, Ozundere instead implicitly infers a similar message through his use of tone. Throughout Past the Shallows, Jake is characterised as loyal to a fault and full of life. In contrast, Daryl Jarrett's dogs are described as feral with spit dripping from their barking mouths. When Parrott reveals that Jake was found skinny, sick and almost dead near Daryl Jarrett's house, thus inferring he had once lived there, the reader is forced to consider Jake's life if it weren't for the kindness of George. In doing this, Parrott clearly emphasises to the reader that without the intervention of kindness, Jake's fate was either that of the other dogs or a slow and painful death. Ozundere, on the other hand, produces a similar result, but rather than through a lens of compassion or sympathy, does so through one of contempt and shock value. He does this primarily through his juxtaposition of an apathetic or detached tone to the ordinarily confronting subject matter, and in doing so positions the reader to develop disapproval or disgust for the narrator of the poem. This apathetic tone is emphasised through the use of curt stanzas and largely emotionally flat language. Both texts, while utilising different means and approaches, ultimately address a similar theme. However, unlike Parrott, whose message, while resonating throughout the book, remains subtle in its nature, Ozundere utilises a poignant end to his poem to disconcert the reader and subsequently cause the message to echo in the reader's mind, driving home the warning of ignoring injustice. While both texts address starkly different subject matter and utilise varying means to do so, both address the similar themes of ignorance towards injustice resulting in continued violence against others or escalated violence for those ignoring the injustice, as well as that injustice can be resolved when people stand up and actively participate.